We were in a battle 2 nights before. I stayed away from them 3 days and nights. And no one knew the Chinese were coming in. And they surrounded us in a little place called Cooneria. And the mountains were high on every side. And just a little bitty road going up through there. And they surrounded us there and blew a tank out in front of us, and we couldn't retreat. So I went up on this mountain, 2 other men, and we stayed there for 3 days and nights till we got so hungry and I was seeing water. And we had a battle in a little rice paddy down there, and I could hear water from the top of that mountain, and I thought I could see water, but it was sand. And I could still hear water when I got down there, and I crawled down a ditch, and there was water coming out of that rice paddy, about an inch stream, falling about 8 or 10 inches, and that's what I heard, that water. And that's where I got drink, and I filled my canteen up and drank all I could. I knew where the water was coming from because that's where we had the battle, and it was bad. So when you get hungry and thirsty, you'll eat or you'll drink anything. We tried to get off of the mountain down to the truck. We knew there was some canned ration on there. And when we tried to get to when we came off of the mountain, I was looking down a 50 caliber machine gun, and they was Chinese everywhere and Korean, and they got me and captured all 3 of us. Then they put us in foxholes separately, way over our heads. And they had been known, the Koreans had, that they'd put people in holes and left their heads out and stoned them to death. And we didn't know if that was what they were going to do with us or not. 2 days later, they gave us a whole bunch of parch corn, just parch. You ever eat parch corn? And we put it in our pockets, and we started on the death march. So the weather, between the time we reached Camp 5 and the time we left the 1st of December on the death march, right around the 1st. And we marched till February. I believe it was in February sometime, but early part of February. But we'd have to stop off in villages on the way because the snow and the ice would get so deep we couldn't travel. And then when the ice and snow would settle down, we'd start again. And I got my eyes burned with smoke because I was boiling that cracked corn up, and I couldn't see when out in the snow. And somebody had to keep me from falling off of the roads were up there, and you could look down and see the treetops off them little roads. And he'd keep me from walking off of that. And there's many, many people died on the march. We went to, from Cooneria, a little place, Cooneria, that's where our battle was, to the Yalu River, which is right across from China. In other words, across the water from where I was at was China. And so that's where I spent the rest of my time as a field deputy. First thing they made us do is dig trenches in case the Americans came, so they could fire out of the trenches. We were digging trenches. Then we had to cover them up. And they started us digging a mountain, and we made a ball field out of a mountain. We put the rocks, dirt, all of it into the edge of the Yalu River. And we made a complete ball field, bigger than a ball field. And that's where they put on, we had to fall out, and they lectured us every morning. And by the way, I had to take, us in Camp 5 had to take socialism and communism lectures and schooling, and we had to take tests on those because they made you learn. We had men who died that didn't want to live. They couldn't stand the pressure. You know what I'm talking about. And they wouldn't eat it, they wouldn't drink. So a week of that and you're gone. You see that sign over there, it says, when you come in here, it says freedom is not free. Somebody's got to pay the price. And I'm more than happy to say that I loved America and the people in it that I would have given it.